Few record labels have had as much impact on rock and roll history as Atlantic Records. Founded in 1947 by Ahmet, Ertegun, and Herb Abramson, Atlantic quickly became a powerhouse in the music industry, shaping the evolution of rock, blues, and soul. Known for its groundbreaking signings, iconic albums, and legendary artists, the label played a crucial role in defining the sound of modern rock and roll. In its early years, Atlantic Records was primarily focused on rhythm and blues and jazz, signing influential artists like Ray Charles, Ruth Brown, and Big Joe Turner. However, as rock and roll began to take shape in the 1950s and 1960s, Atlantic recognized the potential of the genre and started signing artists that would go on to change the face of music forever. The 1960s and 1970s were a golden era for Atlantic Records, with the label becoming home to some of the most iconic rock bands of all time. One of the label's biggest coups was signing Led Zeppelin in 1968, a move that would prove to be one of the most significant in rock history. Led Zeppelin, with their groundbreaking sound, legendary live performances, and record-breaking album sales, became one of the best-selling bands of all time under the Atlantic banner. During this period, Atlantic also worked with the Rolling Stones for a time through their Rolling Stones Records imprint, AC/DC, Yes, and Genesis, reinforcing its reputation as the go-to label for hard-hitting, innovative rock bands. The success of these artists cemented Atlantic's status as one of the most powerful labels in the world. Beyond rock, Atlantic was also a major player in soul, funk, and blues, working with Aretha Franklin, Otis Redding, and Wilson Pickett, blending the worlds of rock and rhythm and blues in ways that shaped the sound of American music. The label's ability to balance rock, pop, soul, and blues made it one of the most versatile and successful record companies in history. The 1980s and 1990s saw Atlantic continuing to dominate with bands like Foreigner, Skid Row, INXS, and Stone Temple Pilots, ensuring that rock remained at the forefront of mainstream music. Meanwhile, as the industry evolved, Atlantic adapted, signing acts that bridged the gap between alternative, hard rock, and mainstream pop. Even today, Atlantic Records remains a force in the music industry, with a roster that includes modern rock, hip-hop, and pop artists. Though its golden era of rock and roll may have passed, its legacy is undeniable. The label was instrumental in launching and shaping some of the biggest artists in music history. Few record labels can claim to have had such an enduring impact on rock, soul, and pop culture. From the blues-soaked roots of the 1950s to the arena rock of the 1970s and the alternative explosion of the 1990s, Atlantic Records has been at the center of it all. With its unparalleled artist roster, legendary albums, and commitment to groundbreaking music, Atlantic remains one of the most influential record labels of all time.